Jina langu ni Wilfred Moshi, natokea Moshi, ni Mtanzania wa kwanza kupanda mlima Everest. Najishughulisha na mambo ya kupanda mlima na ni mwanachama wa Twende Pamoja au ni member Twende Pamoja. My name is Wilfred Moshi from Tanzania. I was born in 1979. I live in Moshi. I'm a mountain guide on Kilimanjaro. I run Kili Treks. That's for the organizing all the climbing, Kilimanjaro climbings. I have a wife and two children, Martin and Martin. I hope they would like to do mountains. I'm not sure about Everest in some future because they had so many questions. I think they had about, I've been asked about 100 questions with Martin, just Martin to start with. When I finished my high school, Form 6, I couldn't continue on with college or university because my father has never, was not living with us, so the whole thing with money was an issue for us. I was just meandering in town, becoming a town boy, and my friend said, you could as well come on Kilimanjaro and try being a porter because when I was in high school, I already climbed Kilimanjaro in a school team, and I made to the top and say, well, I've done it before, I can try to do as a porter. That was a very difficult thing worst decision I thought I've ever done because it wasn't happy. It wasn't something I expect to do. Climbing a mountain with a pair of jeans, sneakers, no sleeping bag, just using a blanket. It's just like a jumper blanket, nothing much. And it was raining very much, pretty much all day it was raining. At the end of the trip, I say, I'm not sure if I wanted to do this, but because I get paid well, my friend, I think, trying to pull me in, and he made sure I get paid well, and I say, perhaps this is something I'll continue doing. Good thing I had a good English then. I don't know about now. So I didn't last long being a porter. I moved up into being assistant guide. So the very hard physical hard work, I moved away from that a little bit and then becoming more of a mentor, dealing with people on a mountain. So that's how I chosen to be guide being climbing on mountains or doing all mountain things from work to loving it. Yeah. I traveled from Tanzania. Had to buy my ticket. I flew from Kilimanjaro International Airport through Addis Ababa, and Addis Ababa through Mumbai, and then Mumbai to Kathmandu. Was almost 2 days flight. I got to Kathmandu, picked up by one of the guide, get to the hotel. The hotel was called Hotel Shankar. It's a nice hotel out there. Start roaming around, looking at the shop, look at the things that I couldn't get on Tanzania, because in Tanzania you can buy anything for climbing. You can buy anything for mountain. You can rent, but it's still not of something that can be useful in Everest or at Kathmandu. That's a place you get most of the stuff. Then after a briefing on night of the 30th, 1st of April, we flew into Lukla from Kathmandu. That's where we start our walking. So we're ready to start our climb today, and this is Lukla. This is the way we'll be going. 3 hours of walking today. I'm excited. We're doing this. Everybody's happy. We'll talk again later. Bye. This is really awesome. This is Namche Bazaar, and you can actually buy everything here instead of bringing everything from home. It's a beautiful place. It's like a market. It's just this is one of the street to go up Everest. From Lukla, we walk into the village. We were sleeping in lodges. We pass villages where shepherds live. For 9 days, after 9 days, we reach at base camp, Everest base camp, which is 5,480. That's where we spent our most of the time, which was a month and 2 weeks. When we flew in, I just look over from the plane, window plane, and was all ranges of mountain. You just protruding up above the clouds, and it looks so beautiful. I say, wow! I mean, I'm doing it. Actually, when I left home, I knew I was going to do it. I had no idea. I had never told myself that I wouldn't be able to do it, and seeing it from a distance all the time, I was just sneaking on the window. Where is Everest? Where is Everest? Thinking it would be one of the mountain that's covered with snow, but actually Everest is not covered with snow. It's all black because it's standing too high, and the winds are so strong out there to keep any snow out there for permanent. Well, for times of the time between time and a year, the snow get blown off most of the time, and the mountains stay bare without snow. But below it, the whole mountain is covered with the ice. Yeah.
Sometimes the shaper was slow, sometimes the shaper was fast, but everything's okay with me. I could keep up with the pace without a problem. We crossed the bridges, very weird bridges, and it was kind of crazy when you have to cross with the yak in between. I mean, you have to let the yak go by, otherwise they're gonna kick you or push you with their horns around. So it was quite an experience I've never done that before. Kind of got off now. I'm not having altitude sickness. I'm sleepy. Lunch was great. Kumbu Lodge. It's nice. I have a shower. Yeah, I'm smelling good.
As well, we had to do acclimatization because no one, we're not, my body or someone's body is not meant to be living at the high altitude. So getting up to Everest, you're not just walking from base camp up to the Everest top. You have to make your body used to that elevation, and that's a slow process which your body need to be taken well care. So 2.5 weeks there were to get acclimatized. From base camp we were hiking up to camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, and we'll come down, rest for a week, and then we'll go back again before we descend all the way down past base camp to rest, eat, just to get our energy back, because spending time on high altitude again, your body deteriorates at large. And at 6,000 or 6,000 meters or 7,000 meters, just what happened. It happens twice as it could happen at 5,000, which is the base camp. A base camp we've been fed very well, but up above camp, most of the time we eat canned food and packet food, which they were not tasty at all. You just eat to make your stomach full and survive at that altitude.
I've seen people, in fact, two one night got quite sick at Camp 1 on their first trip up there. They were vomiting, they had nauseousness. So what did we do? They rest, they were drinking, we gave them Diamox. What we did then was we treated them for 1 hour with a little bit of oxygen just to try and turn it round, and they were fine in the morning.
We went on an option hike, we went on a Horsip tour. On our way down, it starts snowing. It's dust. It's actually nice. Kill some dust down. Wow, today, what a view. Cloud. Call it view. Can you see there? Bama. Almost nothing.
People ask me, how did you train to climb Everest? Frankly, I never trained. I never ran a mile to climb Everest. Believe me or not, this is the truth I'm telling you. I never ran the mile. I never swim, just even getting in a pool. I signed up to swim because I knew that's something I like to do. I knew that was something will get me to be fit.
So hikes up and down are good, just to push yourself a little bit in the day and come back so you sleep lower, and that gives your body more time to adjust. Make sure you drink plenty up here, and as you've noticed, the air is really, really dry, maybe drying out your noses. Just be a bit careful though. If one side is bigger than the other, so if you've got a big swollen leg or one arm looks puffier than the other side, because there is a slightly higher risk of blood clots when you come up to altitude. And so you may have noticed this in yourselves, in your roommates, and it's a combination of things. As you come up higher, the gases in your tummy expand. It's got to get out somehow. If it doesn't, it's quite uncomfortable. And the diet, dial back, spices, etc. So this isn't dangerous, it's just more annoying for your roommates. Your lungs essentially become like wet sponges, and that makes it really, really hard to breathe. So imagine trying to breathe with wet sponges in your chest. It's a horrible feeling. And people with this obviously are very breathless and become very tired. The next step is becoming confused. And people can do some really strange things. And we had some good examples from a group the other day saying somebody swore blind, they were going uphill and they were going downhill, and people can start talking to other, like there's somebody else in the room, tell you they're going to London, when clearly they're not, they're going to Calcutta, and start repacking the rucksack, just getting a bit sort of task focused on things. Sometimes they actually get quite agitated and cross with you for question like, we're going to London, come on, guys, what's going on? So just severe acute mantis-syphilis is easy, okay. And you start to look a bit like the guy in the picture here. So the headache gets worse. You've got nausea, you're vomiting, you feel weak and dizzy, you're not sleeping. You really get, if you're going to walk up the trail, you're going to have to push yourself. When you're like this, most people just want to crawl into a sleeping bag and not go anywhere. Don't go any higher. Okay, stay where you are if you're feeling like that, and give your body a bit more time to adjust. And what your brain essentially needs to do is just reset to allow you to cope with that lower oxygen level, and make sure that you don't get any worse. Just rest, take it easy, drink lots of fluids. Simple painkillers are good, so paracetamol, ibuprofen are really good, and they just help treat the headache and make you feel better.
I'm used to tell people what to do. I'm used to tell people what to wear, what not to do, what not to think about, and what to think about, and what will be like to be at the summit, and share all my great moment. And now being sitting on the other side of the table and being told what to do, that was most amazing thing. And one moment I remember being briefed about the next, how we should react on things, how things will be taken on each step in case there's emergence, how we should be aware of body changes or physical changes when we're going up. And guides say if you notice your one eye is blurred, think about its glass being glared from your mist, from your breath, and try to clear. If it doesn't clear out, call us, tell us, and we'll look at it. It could be your retina is dying because you're getting less oxygen. And I was like, then I remember being like that and asked myself, oh God, am I that shocking when I'm telling people what's going to happen to them on Kilimanjaro? It's like, it's just a feeling that now I feel what it feels like when you're telling people, or they're in a life adventure trip and you're telling them what things to expect, and you're telling these scary things, and their faces go drop down, and my face went like that, being told what could happen to me climbing Everest. It was just a classic feeling.
That's our trail. That's where we'll be walking. And you can see people there.
The most frightened moment was when we're crossing a place called Kumbu Icefall. The area is called Popcorn, and it's all these chunks of glaciers sitting around. At any moment, they could fall off. and you don't want to be taken off one of those because the landing or the end is not fun. It's always death out there. Compared to the in a second rotation when we're climbing up for acclimatization, I had to do glacier wall climbing, which I've never done in my life. So I would say between those two, the popcorn area was most scary part when I was climbing, because I heard all this story. People get swept off the mountain with avalanches, and this is a prom area, and that's why most of the time we had to cross early in the morning. We'll leave base camp 1 a.m. and we'll be at the next camp around 8 p.m. So we have to cross this popcorn area during the night when glacier activity, it's all calm and quiet. Otherwise, in the daylight, it's all movement, and the junk of a glacier coming down, it's the size of the house. It's usually disasters. So that was the most scary section of the climb, yeah.
At this altitude, there's something.
When you're in a window where avalanche is coming, most you can do is to find the safest place you think. If this is a safe, I can stay here. There's no guarantee that will be safe. And you're trying to avoid to breathe in the cloud that's coming down, because that's just particles of snow that are coming down with that cloud thing. But there's not much you can do when it's coming. When it's right there in front of you, you just do whatever you think it's most important thing to do to save your life. Otherwise, that's it. You're gone. The good thing, they'll try to make you find a big boulder that they think will become unbreakable when this avalanche is coming down, and you can hide there. But as well, the unthinkable can be a disaster as well.
Here she comes. Hey. Don't breathe it in, guys. You're going to get a cloud here. I'm going to duck in here. Duck in over here. Our Sherpas were running yesterday with ice blocks around them.
Yeah, that's we follow game one.
Yeah. Yeah, they got showered.
The yaks and the hose the patient, let the yaks go by. See women, the yak. They're just going from the base camp. This look like albino house. So that's Everest. Pumori base camp. Mlima unaoangalia pale ndio Everest.
Not so much.
Right.
Camp 3.
We can't see it.
Yeah, we can see.
Au camp ya tatu iko
It's
pale
not very
Yeah.
hapo.
There's the bottom of the whole.
Yes.
That's called
And
Lotse.
there is coming right
This is
there.
Nutse.
There's lots of water down.
That's our camp. That's our camp tonight. This will be our camping area. Hapa ndipo tutakapofikia mita 6,100. Unavyoona pale ndo camp yetu. Hii ni mahema orange au njano. I can't tell the color. I'm colorblind by now. Teamwork, it's a key here. If you wanna do everything by yourself, you can't do anything. Yeah. Someone is putting the fly sheet, someone's getting the snow out. Some people are making space for a tent. And some people are cooking. Oh yeah, climbing team was we all hand in hand together because we had to look after each other. These guides on Everest. These are professional guide. They assume everyone who's in Everest they know everything. They know what they're doing. So they're not so sympathy in caring people or trying to give you support, a sympathy support. Not very much. So we'll rely most of the time on a team that we have. So each moment we'll check on each other, make sure we all ask each other if we drink water. When we stop, we share stuff to eat. If someone is slow, we'll try to give them a pep talk and things like that. So it was about teamwork and it was very helpful. Maporomoko barafu hatari sana, very dangerous. You see those people there? They're crossing a ladder. That's how you cross a ladder. This valley. If you fall down, oh. Shepherd taken off their crampons. It's much easier to walk without crampons here. It's much flatter. Fresh snow. Oh. Oh. This is Mike. Hey Nia.
You right?
Hit those feet down.
Huh?
Hit those feet down there.
I'm trying.
Try my man. Try my man. We don't have cut here. This is like a rock place of a glacier. We've been dropped so that in case we fall into crevasses there'll be less injuries or someone won't go really far. Few people died on Everest, as well as a Sherpa who died earlier on our first rotation. We came down and we saw a pool of blood down on a crevasse, and they told us that was a Sherpa coming down, and that he slid on a ladder. He didn't tie the rope on it. He just slid. He was walking fast, and the ladder swinged, and he flew, and he fell down and died right away. Yeah, it was kind of shocking. Yeah. There's some things to do with the climb. There's some things to do with being away from home. 2 months, that's a lot of time to be away from home. With the climb itself was to be when you think you're ready to go and the weather's not permitting. So there are two things opposing each other. You're ready to go to the mountain. You think this is my window to get it done. We've been spending all our time at the base camp. So a month and 2 weeks, or a week and a half after, it was too much for us to still living there. There's nothing out there. There's no permanent building. It's just living in a tent. Well, we've been fed very well, but it's all about being away in a high altitude. Our bodies start deteriorating. It's becoming unhappy. Though that was most downside of the climb. Being away from home, I knew, okay, if anything happens here, I'll miss my family will miss me. But I was sure not to do anything that will jeopardize or put my life in danger and never go back home. Yeah. Believe it or not, I've never even shown her I haven't showed her until I'm here and until she came to me in one of the school visits and she saw the film from my Everest trip. But at home, she only saw a few photos of me being on Everest. But now she's concluding, if I saw this video of these films, I wouldn't let you go to Everest. But then when I was leaving, she was, oh yeah, okay, just be careful. That's all she could say then before I left. And then as soon as the time I was leaving country, she started feeling down. Oh, I'll miss you. 2 months, that's gonna be a long time. You shouldn't go. And Martin and Martina, they had so many questions about how high the mountain is. I mean, I believe if they knew as well, they couldn't let me go there. But when I was gone and tried to communicate with Agnes most of the time and telling her what happened, what I think have gone on, and send her some of my journals writing or diaries I was writing, and she saw some photos, she say, you need to come home. And I say, look, honey, I've just, I'm almost done here. If happens as an accident, it's an accident. But if I'm sick, I'll come home. Because I'm almost done with it. I say, okay, just be careful. You don't have to finish. You don't have to complete it. But my inside is just drive me crazy because all these people behind me have supported me. I've committed. You know, when you planning to do things and you're so drived that giving up halfway because it was so danger, you feel like, oh, that's not an excuse. You just wimped. You just become wimped and it ran away from me. And that's something that was inside me. But Everest, it's not about being wimpy. It's just, that's a big mountain. It's a serious mountain. And so Agnes, and I came back home, she saw me. She started touching me, feeling just, is that you? Or you having a new hand? Or you being planted, you being replaced with some things, and said it's all me. I just come back home because I was so thin. I look like I've been living in a jungle, or not even jungle. In jungle could be leaves, but I've been living in a desert, eating nothing. Was so scary for her. I say, you'll never go back again to that mountain. Yeah. That's the way to Camp 3, and that's the way down after summit. You can see people rappelling down.
Boys, isn't it?
Say something.
What?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a nice day.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day. What about you?
Beautiful day.
Good.
Everything good. Hey, my man.
I'm good.
Hanging there.
Hanging on in there.
Good.
Sure.
It's very hard to do down here because now I have 100% oxygen to breathe, and you do these things when and it's automatically. It's just like you're pressing a button. Now air, now oxygen, now pressure, and everything just worked like that. It was difficult going up. It was difficult going up to the summit day because there were so many people, at least 200 people trying to summit on that particular day, and you're talking about only 20 to 50 people can stand at the very top without being sliding on each sides of the summit. So on the summit day when we're going up, we're going for 1 minute we'll be moving, and that minute will be maybe 6 steps only, and then we'll stop for 3 minutes. And that was so hard because you hardly generate any heat to keep yourself warm. Most you can do is just to try to do maneuver, try to do any kind of movement with your hands or your feet just to make sure you stay warm. And that was mostly going up most of the night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. The day was summit on 19th. But down below before the summit was continually slow step. It was just like a monster. You go boom, boom, boom. I mean, you can, and that's most you can do. Passing, trying to overtaking someone, your lungs, your heart, your muscle will be screaming at you. Why have you done this crazy thing? Why are you crazy? What are you doing? And that's the least you can do, because you overtaking someone, and you find yourself next minute you're huffing and puffing, holding your knees, trying to open up your lungs so large so you can breathe more oxygen. And this person will come walk past you again. Hi. Yeah. So that was kind of nasal. Like, you don't want to. It's something you have to make judgment easily. It was a feeling that, oh, someone is going slow, I need to pass this person. But just taking that decision to pass someone, be careful. You need to be, you pay for it in next minute. It's not a future payment. It's just next minute around the corner you start grasping your oxygen and having breathing from the mask. It was difficult thing. You don't get enough. You don't get at all most of the thing, because it comes as little as it been regulated from regulator, and you try and grasp as much as you can at that particular moment. It doesn't come anymore. It's just what had been released from the regulator. Yeah.
So is Namche the one with the yellow there?
No, it's this one here that's Namche.
Oh, okay.
And that's Kumji.
Kumbu Kumji. And then we follow the valley up.
Follow this valley up there.
Okay.
And then you guys go up to here, Chukung.
And then where are we going from?
Everest Base Camp is in this corner here.
Okay.
This mountain is Pumori, then this mountain is Lingren, which is a very beautiful mountain.
Okay.
And this is Kumbutse.
And we'll be going on this ridge here, or from behind.
So the south side is actually a lot steeper.
It's steeper and bigger, yeah.
That's the way up. That's the way to go. Okay, so we're going, this is day 2 today. We started hiking. We'll be hiking for at least 5 hours. We're going to Namche Bazaar. It's a bigger village than the one we've been around here. I'm feeling very strong today. Everyone is good. Everyone is positive. Looking forward for the evening today, spending some good time with these great people I met. Thank you very much. Good.
I tried to look before who could have been the first Tanzanian to climb Everest, and I say, well, I could as well be one. And that gave me more motivation, or more push to keep on moving forward and looking for sponsorship and training. So climbing mountains, you speaking of football, you're speaking of basketball, or running. This is something people will cheer or will put money into, but climbing mountain is not a thing in Tanzania. So I had to look for sponsorship outside in the world, Europe, America, and some other people from Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Arriving at our camp. It was a long hike today. Some of our shepherds. That's our kitchen. That's our dining there. So that's Everest, covered with clouds a little bit. It looks not windy, and I've asked God, I've asked Jesus not to make windy, to calm the wind down as it came on the ocean when he was with Peter, Simon, Petro, and Jacob. Whatever you're looking at there, that's a Camp 3. It's on a slope side of the glaciers. You can see at the bottom of it there are walls. Those are the walls we'll be climbing. And that's the Lost Face that you're looking at. That's the Lost Peak. South Col is somewhere over there. It's hidden. You can see from here until you get to the Geneva Spur, which is that one there. You can see the South Col. In 48 hours plus, we'll be there.
No, not yet. Except Kilimanjaro. That's the part of the world I've climbed. And oh yeah, I did Ben Nevis last weekend. I've climbed Ben Nevis. That's the highest mountain in Scotland or maybe UK. And I'm looking forward to do other summits on each continent. Now 5 continents left. After I've done Africa, on which Kilimanjaro is, Everest, which is in Asia, and I'll do the rest of the other 5s on each continent of the world. Yeah.
Yes. We're at the Cam 2, 6,400 meters, about 21,000 feet. And behind me, you're looking at the Everest. That's the peak. It's nice. Somewhere over there, that's Camp 3. That's where we're gonna go tomorrow morning, early in the morning. So tomorrow, wake up at 5. Tomorrow, which is I can't remember even the dates. Oh, tomorrow 17th. So we're gonna wake up at 5. Try to leave anytime before 6. There's actually one place. It's not my worst or my least favorite, but it's the only way to go home. That's the only way to go to Camp 3, where it's a wall and we need to climb with crampons and Juma. Last time it really I really struggled to go that section, but I'm looking forward for it this time, as I've learned to be calm, I've learned to be patient, I've learned how to hold my breath, and after I've gone through that section, it'll be over. We're aiming there.
Can I say 2 of them? Because I have 2 of them. The one will be at the summit. Just sure, I'm here. This is it. I've done it. No more climbing. All I'm left with is going down. Not thinking down could have been worse than even coming up. And the second one is getting at Lukla. This is the town where we flew in from Kathmandu, and knowing there will be no longer walking, no more walking, and I'll be sitting down or driving around, and that's the most I could do. So those are the 2 most fabulous moment that I felt so happy. At the summit, I got there, kneel down, look around, make sure the view is stunning, and start crying, because I could hardly put in word, I could hardly put in my mind that this is so beautiful. I know I'm done. Want the challenge to receive or to be able to get at the summit, and knowing everything is over, forgetting about going down at that particular moment. You know nothing, you remember nothing about going down. I only felt like this is it, I'll be living here forever. For that 15 minutes I felt like this is my life here and I'm not going any further. It arests everything around me, and just being me at the top, feel the wind blowing against me. One moment I felt so crazy and tried to take off my oxygen mask, and I lasted only for 30 seconds before I grasped it back and then started breathing again. But definitely those are the best 2 moments while climbing Everest, and summiting and knowing that after everything is over, I'm getting down at Lukla safe with my hands and feet, everything done, alive. Yeah.
Taking down the fellow Sherpa who fell and broke 2 legs and the shoulder. the wall, glacier wall.
Uh, first nights, every or each first night on the mountain, especially after we've gained altitude, was worst night in my life, because those are the nights that my head felt like there's someone with a pump pressuring or putting air in my head, and I couldn't sleep at all, and it was as like I can't wait to get off this mountain then. The other nights they were okay, because after I got acclimatized, everything was smooth. I could sleep very well. It was just that first night getting into another high altitude was the most difficult night. It was warm enough. My sleeping bag, Adventure Consultants, the company I went with, provided me with a very good sleeping bag that was minus 40 degree. So most of the night I was warm, not toasty, but comfortably warm, so I could sleep very well. Yeah. When we sleep, because all the base camp, it's a snow, it's ice, or glacier. The whole of it's glacier, and all the tent have been set on top of it. Over the night, because of the heat in the day, over the night this glacier started to cooling down again, or freezing again, and make some movement, and there'll be cracking sound underneath. That was shocking for the first week when I was at the base camp, because every now and then I'll look on the side of my tent to see if it's falling, if it's just start to sink down, and I hoped that it will never sink. Good thing, I mean, we live there, and they'll keep changing the position of the tent according to when it's melting. But over the course of the night, you hear about 10 or 20 cracks underneath your tent. And that was a bit shocking, because you're living on this house and you hear a crack underneath. You say, "Is this house falling down, or is my tent falling down?" That was a week, and then after a week, I felt, "Oh, this is the life here." But avalanches every night, at least 2 avalanches on the sides of the mountain. They're not coming near our camp, and most of them would be like a bomb. Someone just dropped a bomb somewhere. Big sound. Yeah. The worst one I think I saw, or I remember, we came down on our first rotation of acclimatization from Camp 2, and we have just spent the day at the base camp. The next morning, we're hearing very big avalanche, and we thought it was a plane crashed on Everest, because where Everest is just on the side. There's a mountain called Lhotse and a mountain called Nuptse, and the trail going up is just crossing on a valley between Everest shoulder and the Nuptse. So we saw like a big smoke go up and the big smoke coming down, and people start radioing up, "Is everything all right there?" And everyone saying bad words like, it's not funny, it's not happy, something must have happened, something have gone wrong. And it was a big chunk of a glacier fall down and swept all over Camp 1. There were people staying there with a tent. Luckily, it was a time when everyone has just vacated the camp, start moving on, and this thing caught them along the way. But it was just pieces that hit them. No one got killed on that one. But it scared most of people that 2 groups, they were continuing to Camp 2, and they had to abort their trip, and the whole trip. They canceled the whole Everest climb trip, and they went home. It was so scary, because all their tents were shattered. They were cut in pieces with the piece of the ice that detached from the glacier. They were chopped off, like someone had a scissor cut the tent off. If we miss this and we walked away from it, we cannot continue, because it's a sign that people believe it was a sign that God was showing to them, you should not be on that mountain. Yeah.
There's people up there, they're going to the summit, or they're coming back. It's our mountain tonight.
Go for it, see it? And we're all hanging off it.
Yeah, it's so scary. It's shame. People died up there. It's all because of either being not well informed, or I'll say it's a greedy, or not knowing what your life is next. Perhaps I'll say it carries on with much more of selfishness, because you want to do things that will put your life in danger, and then you forget about other people at home, that they're better than the mountain you're trying to climb. Yes, I saw people and asked the guide and asked the shepherds, and they told me about all these people. Some of the bones there, because all that's left up there, the only structured body I saw was the one of 2008, but others were 1989, 1996, the famous guy called Scott Fisher, and I could only see, apart from him from the waist down to the legs. And you see the boots, you see the crampons are all intact, but what's left there are bones. And I couldn't believe it. It's just like seeing in a butcher site, you only see bones of cow and goats and sheep, but now I'm looking at human bones. It's like being in a laboratory, but this is live, this is sin, and that kick off me. I was so slow coming down. I almost gave up walking coming down because I was too exhausted to keep on moving. But seeing that on the way down just kicked me off and say, well, I'm not dying yet. I have to catch up my pace and then see my family, see all my children. My life, it's worth a lot than trying to be slow and thinking I can't do anymore. Yeah. Yes, there was, although myself and most of my friends and other people felt, or I feel like it's minor to what I've done. I received an acknowledgement from Tanzania Tourist Board, acknowledging that it's appreciation, a certificate of appreciation that I've advertised the nation of the Tanzania. But I felt it could have been more than that, because I've flown it. I'm the first, only. Everest is just not a mountain. It's not. It's more than a mountain. It's an icon on Earth that you mention to anyone who is not climbing a mountain. You say Everest, and oh yeah, that's the highest mountain. That's a mountain in the world. You say Everest to people in Europe. You say Everest in America. They know this is a life commitment thing. it's your family and your life that you put in danger, going away for such a long time and being in that mountain that takes people's life easily, just like blowing a whistle, is it's a big thing to do, and it's supposed to be well recognized by anyone. So that's my feeling. It's whatever's been done with the government, it's not as large as it could have been. It's a big country, and it's a big thing I've done to my country.
Hi, this is one of the the climb I've did for 20 Pamoja, Let's Work Together, and I'm very proud I've launched the Hand in Hand Global Vision project at the Mount Everest. There'll be another launch at Kilimanjaro and Ben Nevis in Scotland or in Edinburgh. I've summited. I'm the first Tanzanian to have summited Mount Everest, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud to have flown the Tanzanian flag and to have launched the project, Hand in Hand Global Vision project. Well, this is it, Pete. It's over. End of Everest trekking trip. Last day at Lukla. My feet are crying. My feet are screaming at me. Why did I walk? Why did I walk like this? This is so much walk. It's over now. It's over today. No more walking. I'll be sitting, eating, and be served. Thank you. Okay. Look at that.